Imagine waking up one morning, checking your bank account, and realizing that your credit card debt is finally disappearing. Imagine the balance going down every month instead of creeping up. Imagine the stress lifting off your chest, the late-night worries stopping, and finally getting control of your money instead of letting your money control you. This is not a fantasy. It's exactly what zero-based budgeting can do when you use it the right way. And today, if you stick with me till the end, you're going to learn how this one method can help you pay off your credit card debt faster than you ever thought possible. This is Finance Glow, and if you're ready to glow up your finances, hit that subscribe button right now so you don't miss upcoming videos. Trust me, you'll want to be here. Now, before we jump deep, let me ask you something. Have you ever looked at your credit card statement and thought, but where did all this money even go? You're not alone. Most people don't actually have a spending problem. They have a tracking problem. Money leaks through small expenses that you don't even remember buying. But zero-based budgeting forces every single dollar you earn to have a job. Nothing sits idle, nothing floats around, and nothing gets wasted. Because when your money doesn't have a job, it secretly disappears. And here's the crazy part. Most people think budgeting restricts you. In reality, zero-based budgeting gives you freedom. It's like switching from walking in the dark to suddenly turning on a flashlight. Finally see where your money is going, how much you can aggressively throw at your credit card debt, and how fast you can get out. And today we're going to walk through it step by step, in a way that's simple, realistic, and actually doable. But before we start breaking down the steps, I want you to stay with me till the end, because one mistake people make completely destroys their progress. I'll tell you that mistake later, and avoiding it alone can save you hundreds of dollars. So let's start with the heart of zero-based budgeting. The idea is simple. At the beginning of every month, you assign every single dollar a purpose until your budget equals zero. Remember, zero-based budgeting means your income minus your expenses equals zero. So here's what you do. First, list your income. Not estimated. Not average. The exact number. Then list all your fixed expenses: rent, utilities, phone bill, internet. Then list your variable expenses: food, fuel, transport. Then list your wants: entertainment, shopping, eating out. And then finally list your debt. Now here's the twist that makes this incredibly powerful. Instead of adding your debt payment at the end like an afterthought, you put it near the top. You prioritize it. You treat it like a bill that must be paid. This small shift changes the entire outcome. Because when debt payoff comes first, everything else adjusts around it. You still budget for fun. You still budget for small luxuries, but now you do it responsibly. And what you'll notice is that the moment you give your debt a serious number, something larger than the minimum your budget transforms, you start seeing possibilities. Maybe you reduce one small category slightly. Maybe you delay a purchase. Maybe you cut one subscription. It doesn't feel like sacrifice. It feels like progress. And let me tell you something motivational here. Your future self will thank you. The version of you 6 months from now will feel lighter, stronger, more stable, more confident. Paying off debt isn't just about money. It's about freedom. It's about taking back control of your life. And you deserve that. Now that you understand the foundation, let us talk about how to make zero-based budgeting work specifically for paying off credit card debt as fast as possible. The first thing you need to realize is that debt doesn't just vanish on its own. If you only pay the minimum, you're essentially treading water. You'll never make real progress. Zero-based budgeting forces you to confront the numbers, face reality, and then attack that debt intentionally. Here's a strategy that works like a laser. List all your debts from highest interest to lowest interest. Yes, it's tempting to tackle the smallest balance first because it feels like a win, and that's called the snowball method. But if your goal is saving money and paying off debt fastest, you need to start with the highest interest card first. This is called the avalanche method, and when combined with zero-based budgeting, it becomes unstoppable. Next, take your monthly income and subtract all necessary expenses: rent, utilities, groceries, transport, everything essential. Don't leave anything vague. Be precise. Now look at the leftover money. Here's the golden rule. The largest portion of that leftover should go straight to your highest interest debt. Not to shopping, not to eating out, not to Netflix. Directly to debt. Here's the secret most people ignore. Small leaks in your budget are your enemy. Things like daily coffee, takeout lunches, subscriptions you forgot about, they add up faster than you think. Zero-based budgeting forces you to see them. Suddenly, you realize you can put an extra few thousand rupees each month toward your debt just by cutting unnecessary spending. And remember, every rupee you redirect is one less rupee wasted on interest. Now, I want to share a trick that makes sticking to this budget much easier. Open a separate account, a debt payment account. Every month, transfer the exact amount you've allocated to debt there immediately when you get paid. This is not optional spending. This is your battle fund. Once it's there, consider it untouchable. This simple step keeps you from accidentally spending it and ensures your plan actually works. Consistency is key. The first month will feel strict. The second month might feel restrictive. But by month 3, something amazing happens. The act of seeing your debt shrink month after month is motivating. It turns paying off debt into a positive habit rather than a punishment. And that motivation fuels itself. You start looking forward to reducing the balance and celebrating small wins. Another important point: tracking is essential. Use a simple spreadsheet, an app, or even a notebook. Write down every expense, every payment, every rupee. This is your evidence that the system works. When you see numbers in black and white, the temptation to overspend diminishes. You're no longer guessing, you're controlling. And don't forget the emotional side of this journey. Credit card debt can feel suffocating, even shameful, but zero-based budgeting gives you control. Control leads to confidence, and confidence turns into momentum. Once your momentum builds, you'll start paying off debt faster than you imagined. Here's another tip to maximize the effect. Look for temporary ways to boost income. Side gigs, freelance work, selling unused items, or even small bonuses from your current job. Every extra rupee should go into your debt account. Think of it like rocket fuel for your avalanche method. The faster you throw extra money at your debt, the faster it disappears. I want to be honest with you, temptation is everywhere. Sales, subscriptions, food delivery, impulse purchases, they're designed to take your money away. Zero-based budgeting doesn't remove temptation, but it does put your money on a leash. You can still spend on fun, but it has to be intentional. Once you see the numbers, you stop overspending without thinking, and that's when real progress happens. Finally, let's talk about the psychological trick that keeps people from giving up. Visual progress. Create a chart, track your debt, watch it go down week by week, month by month. The visual feedback reinforces your behavior. It makes the journey tangible and satisfying. Nothing feels better than seeing that balance drop steadily. Knowing your money is finally working for you and not against you. Now, imagine 6 months from now. You sit down and check your credit card balance. The number that once caused stress and anxiety has dramatically decreased. You've freed up money for other goals, perhaps savings or investments. But more importantly, you've gained peace of mind. That feeling of freedom, of finally being in control, is priceless. Now that you have the basics, let us talk about the advanced strategies that separate people who struggle for years from those who pay off their credit card debt fast and actually enjoy the process. The first strategy is to review and adjust your budget weekly, not just monthly. Most people set their budget at the start of the month and forget about it. But life changes, unexpected expenses come up, opportunities appear, and if your budget is static, it can fail you. By reviewing weekly, you can reallocate extra funds to your debt or adjust areas where you overspent. This small habit dramatically increases your progress. Next, automate as much as possible. Automation isn't just convenience. It's a shield against human error. Set up automatic transfers to your debt account right after payday. Automate your bill payments so you never miss a due date and avoid late fees. Automation keeps your plan on track even when life gets busy or overwhelming. Another powerful strategy is splitting your debt payments into multiple chunks per month instead of paying once. For example, if you pay 10,000 rupees at the end of the month, your interest is still accumulating on the remaining balance for the whole month. But if you split that into 2 or 3 payments throughout the month, you reduce the principal faster and minimize interest. It's a small change that makes a surprisingly big difference over time. Now, let's address a psychological trick that keeps you motivated. Reward milestones. Debt payoff doesn't have to feel like punishment. Celebrate small wins. Paid off 5,000 rupees. Treat yourself with something small that's already in your budget. Cleared a card completely. Celebrate in a way that doesn't hurt your progress. These small psychological boosts help keep morale high and prevent burnout. And here's a tip that most people overlook. Track your savings from cutting expenses. Every time you eliminate a leak like unused subscriptions, daily coffee or late night delivery, calculate how much you're saving. This reinforces your behavior and keeps you motivated. When you see that every small sacrifice has a tangible effect on your debt payoff, it becomes easier to stay consistent. Now, a common mistake I want you to avoid: treating debt repayment as optional or negotiable. Many people think I'll pay extra when I can, but that's exactly why progress is slow. With zero-based budgeting, you remove the guesswork. Debt repayment is a non-negotiable category at the top of your budget. Treat it like rent or utilities that must be paid. Once you do, your debt starts moving down faster than you imagined. Another advanced tip: focus on reducing interest wherever possible. Some credit cards allow you to transfer balances to lower interest cards or negotiate for better rates. Even a small reduction in interest can save thousands over time and accelerate your payoff plan. Combine this with zero-based budgeting, and you're supercharging your progress. Now, let's talk about the big picture. Paying off credit card debt, ISNT, just about clearing numbers, S about building financial confidence and freedom. Every month you pay down your debt, you're gaining more control over your life. You're gaining options, reducing stress, and creating a foundation for long-term wealth. And once you're free from debt, everything you learn from zero-based budgeting carries forward. You'll naturally be better at saving, investing, and making money work for you. I also want to emphasize community and accountability. Share your journey with friends, family, or even in comments below. When you talk about your goals, your motivation increases. It's much harder to quit when others know what you're trying to achieve, and you might even inspire someone else to start their own journey toward financial freedom. And here's the final most important mindset shift: view your money as a tool, not a scorecard. Every rupee you assign in your zero-based budget is a deliberate step toward freedom. Stop seeing your money as something that limits you and start seeing it as something that empowers you. The more intentional you are, the faster your debt disappears and the more confident you feel. Before we wrap up, let me remind you, if you've found any value in this video, hit that subscribe button for more actionable strategies like this. Like this video and drop a comment sharing your progress or questions. Your engagement keeps this community alive and helps others on the same journey. Share this with a friend or family member who needs to take control of their debt too. This isn't just about watching a video, it's about taking action and creating change in your life. Finally, imagine the moment when your credit card balance finally hits zero. No more minimum payments, no more interest piling up, no more stress. That feeling is worth every minute you've spent budgeting, tracking, and being intentional with your money. Zero-based budgeting, ISNT, a temporary trick. It's a lifelong skill that will save you thousands and give you control over your financial future. Start today, stick with it, and watch your debt disappear faster than you ever thought possible. Your journey starts now. Every rupee you assign, every payment you make, every adjustment you track brings you closer to freedom. This is Finance Glow, reminding you that financial control isn't a dream, it's a plan.